One person has been confirmed dead, 15 others are injured, and police say 2 people have been taken into custody. Now, this street right here is where earlier today thousands of people started running whenever they heard gunshots.
He says the entire city, the entire community is really going to feel the impact of this. You're either going to know someone or you're going to know someone who knows someone.
The main thing we found out is that the bodies that were found yesterday in the midst of the search for Veronica Butler and Jillian Kelly have still not been identified. However, OSBI did tell us that it thinks there is no chance that Veronica Butler and Jillian Kelly are still alive. This is the laundromat where that teenager disappeared more than 45 years ago. The sheriff here now has a prime suspect, BTK. Annette, Carly, you guys are talking about the debris. I mean, just take a look at the scene. I think it really speaks for itself. This entire street just absolutely lined with debris, tree branches everywhere. And let's walk with me. I want to show you a closer look over here. You can see that tree right there just snapped completely in half. And over here, there's a down power line. TikTok's future in the United States is once again up in the air as the U.S. government discusses a bill that would possibly ban it. One content creator who grew up in Kansas says if TikTok is banned, it'll hurt her business. I'm standing on a snowbank that one of the plows made. I mean, you can see how deep it is. It comes up to about my calf. I think there's any chance that Veronica and Jillian are still alive? No. There are some flowers. You can see there are some notes. There's actually someone writing a note right now, just, expressing their sorrows, letting the victims know that they will not forget them. We've been speaking to some people at the airport today. As you can imagine, it's an incredibly emotional day, a very dark day for Wichita. This spot where I'm standing right now is actually typically covered by water, but right now the water levels are 5.5 feet below conservation level. As you can see, the water doesn't start until right there, a couple feet away from me. If you go and take a look right here, you can see the area where it was burning. You can see all of that burnt grass, and then right here there's a break in the fence. It almost looks like this is possibly where fire crews went through in order to get to the fire. We've heard that the police department isn't able to access their cases. Do you have any information on that?
You'll have to talk to the police department.
The Wichita Police Department says it can't discuss the cyber attack. We got some players right here. We got Magic Mahomes and Pacheco. And tell me, is this your first time coming to the parade?
Second time.
Second time? Were you here last year too?
Yes.
Got to be here for the back-to-back. The sign back there says it all. I'm gonna go ahead and take this bad boy for a little spin. So if I remember correctly, we're gonna put it in drive, hit the parking brake, and we should be good to go. Some water, non-perishable foods, battery, blankets, coats, and a flashlight. That way, if your power does go out, you'll be prepared. You wanna see my spin? Let me show you my spin. Whew! Anyway, the smiles you see say it all. Now the open session for the night just started, so there aren't too many people on the rink right now, but if you look over there, you can see people renting out their skates. I mean, as soon as you step inside the arena, the energy is just electric. You have people holding signs to cheer on their favorite ice dancers. You have smiles on everyone's faces. And check out these beanies the arena was handing out earlier that proudly represent Wichita. Chris, the last 9 months have been some of the hardest for Randy Freeman while she figures out how to go through life after losing her son. She says getting justice for Elijah is what's keeping her going.
I always dreamed of watching him take his first steps, or what did it feel like to be called mom, and I never got to experience it.
Instead, all Randy Freeman has of her baby boy, Elijah Hugh Weedle, is this small blue box, photos, and only 4 months of memories.
His hospital bracelet. This is the outfit he came home in.
The last 9 months for Freeman have been unthinkable.
I think about him and I look at pictures, and then I look at the pictures of him in my arms while he's already deceased, and it's hard to believe that something you made, someone can just take away so easily.
On April 25th, 2024, Freeman told us she got a call that her baby was in the Salina Regional Hospital. The doctor's notes say he had no brain activity upon arrival.
He didn't even look like him. All the machines hooked up to him, his eyes were practically glued shut.
Freeman said her son's babysitter, Amanda Venardi, was watching him in Salina when a neighbor called 911. In those same notes, responders found the baby face down in the crib, and that police were concerned upon finding drug paraphernalia in the home.
They had to restart his heart 4 times.
The report from the hospital that Freeman provided stated doctors found meth and amphetamines in his system. On April 26, Elijah Hugh Weedle took his last breath at 4 months old.
No one tells you how to be okay afterwards. It's just a fend for yourself kind of thing. I'm only 21.
Last week, law enforcement booked the 42-year-old Venardi into the Saline County Jail on charges of aggravated endangering a child, use and possession of drug paraphernalia, and possession of marijuana, opiate, narcotic, or certain stimulant. Freeman says she will keep fighting for her baby to get justice.
The only thing that's gotten me this far was getting his story out there, so other parents, other mothers can see that even if you think it's not going to happen to you, it can.
Freeman also said the hospital gave her this print of Elijah's handprints and footprints, a way to forever remember a life too short as investigators work to get to the truth of what happened. We have reached out to the county attorney to find out if the charges against Venardi are related to the boy's death, and if so, why it took so long to file charges. Venardi's next court date is scheduled for this Thursday.
KIC's Jocelyn Schifferdecker has been following this story from the start and has a look at what we know so far as part of our continuing coverage.
After more than 2 weeks of searching, the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation says 27-year-old Veronica Butler and 39-year-old Jillian Kelly from Hugoton has ended in tragedy. Investigators say they found 2 bodies in their search, and while they haven't been identified yet, there's no longer hope the 2 missing women are alive. Do you think there's any chance that Veronica and Jillian are still alive?
No.
Just unsealed court documents say Veronica Butler and the kids' paternal grandmother, Tiffany Adams, were in a, quote, problematic custody battle over Butler's 2 children. Adams is one of the 4 suspects arrested and charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder and kidnapping. The other suspects are Tad Colum, Adams' boyfriend, and Cora and Cole Twombly. Documents say the 4 are part of an anti-government group called God's Misfits.
We can say that the evidence that was discovered inside of that abandoned vehicle and around it, we're able to help our investigators determine that there was foul play involved.
The affidavit says Butler and Kelly were going to Texas County to pick up Butler's kids on March 30th and take them to a birthday party. But when they never arrived at the party, Butler's family went looking for them. They found her abandoned car at the agreed meeting place in Texas County, Oklahoma. Court documents also say there was blood all over the road, along with Butler's glasses and a broken hammer. Police also found a pistol magazine inside Kelly's purse, but there was no pistol. After days of searching and talking to witnesses, the 16-year-old daughter of 2 of the suspects, Cora and Cole Twombly, told authorities all 4 of the suspects told her they were involved in the deaths of Butler and Kelly. The documents also say investigators found the bodies on private property below a dam in the pasture where there was fresh dirt.
It's a case-by-case basis, but as soon as we hear back from the Oklahoma Medical Examiner's Office, we will let the public know.
And this has really impacted the entire town of Hugoton. The people we talked to said they are heartbroken to hear the news today, but they are thankful to get closure. I mean, I just want to show you really quickly this tree right here. It has some yellow ribbons tied all around it. These are only a small portion of the yellow ribbons I'm looking at actually right now. A lot of businesses, churches, even homes have put them up all throughout the town to show their support and their care for Veronica Butler and Jillian Kelly.
Ice skating is fun because you get to glide on ice and you can go really fast.
9-year-old Elise McGinnis is still on winter break. So she and her brother are visiting the Wichita Ice Center for fun for the whole family.
Meeting new people and also just skating, a lot of fun.
They were met with this, a rink filled with people of all ages laughing, gliding, and of course, a little bit of falling. We're at open skate at the Ice Center. Gotta get back up if you fall down. But despite that, everyone is still smiling. The Ice Center's general manager, Sean O'Reilly, says it's really good to see people making memories out on the ice again, especially after the center was closed this past summer from broken equipment. And there's been a lot of people the past 2 weeks.
Since school have been out for the Christmas break, we've averaged probably about 300 skaters per session.
That's more than 2,000 skaters, triple the amount of people the Ice Center saw this time last year.
This is a very, very important part of the community, and I think everybody realizes that.
Both new and experienced skaters are going to the center's open skate, like 12-year-old Wyatt Weaver, who has never skated before but is likely to return.
I'd rank it a 10 out of 10.
O'Reilly doesn't know why there's this sudden boom in business, but he couldn't be happier. He says the center has been working extra hard since reopening in October to bring new improvements, and he hopes this is just the beginning.
Big things are happening here. Yeah, we're slow and steady is what is going to win the race.